comes out and give their plan, and it's the superintendent giving the plan, and you have to hold us accountable, because again, we are elected and hired by you to represent you. So if we come out with a plan, once we adopt the superintendent's plan, that's the plan. We gotta make sure that's the resources there. We, by law, have to evaluate the superintendent, and we evaluate her annually based off of a goal she come up with. And when she comes up with the goals, at the end of the year, we sit back as a board and we say, did you do X, Y, and Z? Did you do what you said you were gonna do? And then we have to release that information and vote on her evaluation.
I don't want to harp on it, but just like when we have students, we assign them grades so their parents can understand how their kid is progressing. How are we, as a community, going to understand how our superintendent is progressing at her job if we don't hold her accountable or the board accountable?
So with the state of the district address that the superintendent will give annually, she comes before the public and say, this is where what we're going to do. This is what you should see in the next year or the next 2 to 5 years. And you come back at the next state of the city address and say, hey, no, you wasn't truthful. This is not what you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Why you didn't do those things? It is up to us as your representative to say, as we're evaluating the superintendent based off the same thing that person is coming before you saying, then we have to do what we are elected to do, and that's find someone else that can carry out the day-to-day operations and give you, the community, the best service in public education as possible.
Mr. Clemmens, we're going to have to move on because we have more stuff on our agenda. But before we do stop, I just really want to thank you for coming out and for everything that you brought in. It was very refreshing to hear some of the things you said. I have one last but very important question, and I'd appreciate a really brief answer. The worst case scenario. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but the worst case scenario, if the Gary Community School Corporation is found to be financially untenable, as some projections have said that you cannot continue going as a going concern, what will happen at that point? Like, let's say there was a decision